Hi. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to do a quick video, make some quick announcements, and then ask you an important question that I want you to really sit with and take a moment to respond to, either below this video or I'm going to put a link to a form if you'd rather respond to this question anonymously. I really value y'all's input in making sure that I'm giving you content and question prompts and playful ideas, resources, articles, you name it, including the podcast episodes. I use your feedback to tailor what I'm doing so that it benefits you. So if you could make sure to let me know about this, I'd really appreciate it. Before I get into that question, though, I want to make sure that you know about some upcoming things that I'm really, really excited about. In December, we're going to have a Coming Out of the Dark Taste of Awakening workshop. The awakening class is where people learn the body process I created, where you can awaken these energies so that you can have more exuberant joy in living with your body and with anyone else you'd like to have more exuberant joy with. It's a very dynamic, very gentle energy. And this is a taste of that. We're going to be playing around with this in that workshop. I believe right now we're looking at December 20th. As soon as we have the final details on that, I will let you know. But go ahead and have that on your radar. And if you would like the information for that, make sure to put body process underneath this video. Or if you're seeing this by email, go ahead and email body process in response to this email. And I'll make sure that you are informed about the details of that workshop. And we already have classes coming up in January and in June for the awakening class if you would like to actually be a practitioner of it and have all of the hand movements, all of the tools, the manuals, the infographics, everything in your repertoire. In January, it's a two-part class, 2 half days, and in June it will be 1 full day. So which is the format that's going to benefit you, which is the time of year where it would create the most for you to open that door, for you to have this tool, maybe both. We have a couple of repeat people. So I would love for everyone that's already taken the Awakening class to come again. It's just so great to have people's experiences, what they've used it on, how it's benefited them to then inform those that are new to this body process. Again, if you're interested in information about it, go ahead and put body process underneath here or email me body process. We also have a Being a Different Possibility monthly support group calls that are going to be happening starting in January. So there'll be these calls that are based on the Being a Different Possibility book that I wrote and Being a Different Possibility coaching program, where it's to support anyone who would like more ease and clarity with supporting the people that are in their family with themselves related to family, be it ancestral stuff, generational patterns, but also those who work with families. So it could be therapists, teachers, doctors, for them to have tools on how to discuss so many different things, from communication to learning disabilities to health, different cultural, multicultural things. We're going to be looking at self-care within our families. So each monthly call will have a different theme, and you can also send in questions. You can join live and ask questions live to get support and to get more information and resources that you may not otherwise know about. And then some gentle reminders for those of you that have participated in the Being a Different Possibility coaching program. It's going to be a part of your program, and it's going to be additional support to be hearing from the community, because many of us feel isolated and alone with when it comes to some of the family things that we're dealing with. And there's so many commonalities that show up that it's beneficial, from instead of me telling you that you're not alone, for you to actually hear it directly from the people that are also being impacted by these different considerations. And then we're also going to have, continue to have more podcast episodes, including the Limitless Azúcar series, which is going to be with my mom, Rivas-Verdejo. And I'm really excited about that because we, as many of you know, we work really differently together. We are family and do family very differently together. We've also are business partners. We were roommates at one point where we were living together. and running our Airbnb business from our home in Savannah. And now we don't live together anymore, but we continue to do different business pursuits together. And we're going to be talking about how she raised me and my siblings very differently than how she was raised. She's also was an educator for over 35 years, a bilingual educator. And so we're going to be going and talking about so many different things. So be on the lookout for those upcoming episodes. The first one is going to be December 30th in the Choosing a Different Future show. And then my last announcement is that there are going to be 3 openings for coaching with me in December. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and put coaching underneath this video or email me with either the word coaching or, hey, I'm interested in coaching with you. And the first step we do is to have a consultation session, to have a chat and see what exactly you're looking for. And we go from there. If you're interested in the Being a Different Possibility support calls, go ahead and put Being a Different Possibility under this video or email me about that. And as soon as we have all of the dates and information about that, I will make sure to send that to you. I know that you get a lot of emails and notifications, so I want to make sure that if you really, 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 truly would like this information, that you don't miss it. And I only would like to give you the information that you'd like. So if at any moment you're like, I don't want information about something, or I'm opting out of this, please let me know and I will respect that as well. So body process under this video, or email it to me if you're interested in the body process information. The workshop coming out of the dark that's coming up in December. If you're interested in Being a Different Possibility monthly support calls, we're going to have those happening. You can check out the replays, you can come on live, you can do both. And then there's the Limitless Azúcar calls and coaching. And so 3 spots. I only have 10 coaching clients at a time. That's what works for me in my business. That's what's nurturing for me, because the coaching program does take quite a bit of work. It's very personalized, and so it's a whole other level of support than some of our group sessions and some of the free content that I also like to provide to y'all. Now, the question that I would love for you all to sit with today, and I'd really love this feedback on, is going to require for you to be really present with your body. So take a moment and make sure you're with your body. I know I gave you a lot of information that might have gotten you in your head, thinking and calculating and processing. You can always listen to this video again later, no worries. Give yourself a big hug, making sure you're connected with your body instead of floating into the future, thinking about the past. And then take a moment and get vulnerable. I know we joke around a lot in this group. There's some humorous videos, there's some cute comments. We got a lot of jokesters in our group, which I love. Laughter is super, super healing. And I really appreciate those of you that get us laughing and remind us to be lighthearted. And with this question, I'd like for us to all be really vulnerable and really look deeply, deeply within ourselves to see what would work. What are we truly asking for and willing to receive with this? And this is about you increasing your vulnerability, you're increasing your awareness of yourself, and you're increasing your visibility. And what do I mean by that? My question to you is, what would you like to improve on? What would you like to improve on toward the end of this year and into the beginning of next year? I'm not going to wait until 2023 to start declaring what I want. A lot of people wait until a new year. I'm looking at this continuously. That's what doers, that's what action takers, that's what action takers, that's what the successful people of the world, the thought leaders, the people who are example and an inspiration to others, they don't wait for a certain marker. They don't wait for a birthday. They don't wait for a certain date. It's at any moment, they can choose a different possibility, they can create a different future, and they can pivot to what's going to work for them. So what would you like to get better at? And I'm going to give you some examples. And I'm also going to tell you what I would like to get better at as well. Because for all of us, we can always improve. There's always somewhere to grow. And this was, I really want to say thank you to 2 clients of mine in the last week that told me something that really made me look at this for myself. They asked me, well, they mentioned, they were like, Siris, you're so confident. You talk so easily. I ask you a question and you seem to know exactly what to say and how to say it. And if you don't know, you go and reference and look for this other material and you come back to me and it just, is there any question that you don't know how to answer? And there definitely is. There are definitely moments where I'm not really sure how to respond to something. But I have a couple of tricks that help me navigate almost all scenarios that when someone's asking me a question. And if you'd like to know those tricks, it's like 3 tricks. Go ahead and post underneath this video 3 tricks, and I will send you a private message about that, a private little snippet that I'm going to create for you. The other thing is there that just really tells you that for many of us, I have all these different things that go in my head. There's definitely moments where I feel like I'm not doing enough, where I'm not stepping up as much as I'd like, where I'm not reaching as many people as I'd like to reach. And so it was really interesting to have that difference between how I see what I'm doing and how I'm being perceived. And that's a lot of us. A lot of us have a disconnect between what we're actually creating in the world and how it's being received, perceived by other people. And so that's something that I would like to improve. I'd like to be even more vulnerable with y'all. I'd like to kind of unveil, like show you behind the veil of my business, of behind the veil of my life journey, of my health more and more, so that you get that even when things are not so great, not ideal, you can still show up. You can still impact other people. You can still inspire and create and do business. And so that's one of the things I would like to work on. I'd also like to work on my consistency with connecting with each and every one of you. And that's where you come in too. If you let me know what you need or what you're not sure if you need, because some of us, it's like I ask these questions and then I'm like, and you could be like, I don't know what I really want. I don't know what I like to improve on. Or do you have, I had somebody that said, hey, can I write a whole page? You can write a whole page. You can sign that to me privately if you'd like as well. If you'd rather not put it underneath this video, send it to me in an email. That's totally fine. Send it to me in a little, the form I'm going to put out for you all to fill out. Okay. You can do that. I'm making a note for myself for the form. I say, I'm like, let's make sure to do that. So for some of you, it's organization. I want to get more organized. I'd like to prioritize my self-care because I'm taking care of so many other people. I'd like to pursue this business idea that I've been rolling around in my head for however long. I'd like to get better with communicating within my relationships. Perhaps it's about the language you use for your own mindset, for your own emotional and mental health. How are you talking to yourself? What about if it's about conflict resolution and how you communicate, how you be in those situations? Is it about how you speak to certain people or how you speak in certain situations? All right. And notice that a lot of my ideas are language and communication based. One, I love communication. I love languages. It's one of my specialties. It's something that I've dedicated my life to. And it's also one of the most powerful ways of changing your life, changing how you think, and impacting other people, influencing other people is language. And so when we really take it seriously, when we really get like into it and lean into, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, but now I'm willing to put words to it, I'm willing to declare it, and I'm willing to get help on this, it makes such a big difference. But if we're not even willing to say it, if we're not even willing to talk about it, we cannot change it. We cannot improve in this area. So that gets back to what I mentioned earlier, being vulnerable. At first, it's about being vulnerable with yourself. So thank you for being willing to be vulnerable with yourself with this. And then you get to choose if you're going to be visible and vulnerable with the other people that are watching this video. You can put what you're wanting to improve underneath here. I invite you to do that. If you want it to be private, you can do that as well. You get to choose the level of how much you make a demand of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it is about how much you demand of yourself and what you're willing to do to have this thing that you say you would like to improve. Many of us will talk a lot of talk. I'd like this. I'd like more money. I'd like to improve my relationships. I'd like to be better at communicating about my feelings and emotions. Oh, I want to write this book, but then they don't actually take action to do those things. For each of those things that I've just mentioned, the last 3 or 4, I had that as something that I wanted to improve. And then I was like, okay, so now how am I going to do that? And I created a plan for each of those things. And for each of those things, it took something different. Okay. So I'm curious, what are the things that you would like to improve starting now through the end of 2022 and then taking that momentum forward into 2023? What would that be like for you? And what would it create for you to actually have that? All right. I'm curious, just perceive the energy of that door opening, of you not having the distractors away from that, of you not shaming yourself, blaming yourself, judging yourself away from actually taking action. Hmm. And for you to make that as much of a priority as you've been making these other things, that it's not that they're not as important, it's just a different thing. You can have multiple priorities. You can have multiple priorities. And I hope that one of those priorities is creating the life that you would truly, truly like to have, with the skills that you would truly like to have, surrounded by the people that you would truly like to be surrounded by. That's my wish for you now and into the future. So I look forward to hearing your feedback. Again, if it could be under this video or privately, I don't have a point of view about how it shows up, but I'm really, really grateful and really, really thankful to each and every one of you for giving me this information so that I can make sure that I have your back more effectively. And until next time, y'all, have a great one. Bye for now.